99% of Americans say brain health matters just as much as physical health, but only 9% say they know how to maintain it. 90 points between caring and knowing, and inside that gap is the one number that explains why almost no one is doing anything about it. The Alzheimer's Association just published the data. I read the full report and found the number that you should know to change how you will do your next doctor's appointment. This is the Alzheimer's Association 2026 Facts and Figures report. It dropped on April 21st of this year, and every year they publish the state of Alzheimer's in America. But this year, they added something brand new. They partnered with the National Poll on Healthy Aging at the University of Michigan. They were able to survey 3,829 adults aged 40 or older, and they wanted to know what Americans believe they know about their brains, and then what they actually know, and then what they are actually doing about it. So first, the headline numbers. 7.4 million Americans are living with clinical Alzheimer's right now. The cost of caring for them this year alone will hit $409 billion. Deaths from Alzheimer's have more than doubled since the year 2000. Those numbers are hard to sit with, but the survey data is what really caught my attention. 90% of adults rate their own brain health as good to excellent, but only 9% say they know a lot about how to maintain their brain health. The rest said some said a little, and a few said they know nothing at all. Most people feel fine. They just do not know exactly what to do. So where do the people want to get the information from? The survey asked this exact question, and the answer was clear. 66% said they want the information about their brain health to come from their healthcare provider. That was the number one source. That's higher than them reading news articles, higher than YouTube videos like I'm making, higher than podcast. Let me clarify, 2 out of every 3 adults want their doctors to explain brain health. 86% of those surveys said they want brain health to come up during a normal, routine healthcare visit, not a special visit, not a referral, just part of the conversation at their next checkup. But here is the problem. Only 14% of Americans have ever had that conversation with their doctor. So while almost everyone wants to have it, almost no one is getting it. So why is this not happening? Doctors care, but the system is not built for this kind of conversation. Doctors are trained to match symptoms to treatments. You come in with a problem, they find the solution. That model works for a lot of things, but brain health is preventative. There is no symptom to match until the damage is already done. The report says it straight. There is no established clinical guidance on brain health in routine care. The tools do not exist yet in most doctors' practices. I covered this in a previous video on Dr. Lisa Mosconi's research. Women going through menopause, showing up with brain fog, word recall problems, trouble focusing. The doctor sees those symptoms and stops at the first diagnosis that fits, which is typically ADHD, sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's depression. The brain health conversation never starts because the system is not designed to start it. Your doctor did not cause this. The system has a gap, and I today am going to tell you how you yourself can actually close that gap. The report asks people when they want to hear about brain health from their doctor. The answer tells you everything. Some said after a screening shows a problem. Some said during a dedicated brain health visit. but almost 20% said they want to be talking about brain health after being diagnosed with dementia. That last number is the one I keep coming back to. 1 in 5 adults say they only want to hear about brain health after they have been diagnosed. And unfortunately, by then, the window for prevention has closed. I've covered the research on this channel that shows why that is too late. Dr. Lisa Marconi's brain scans showed that the brain loses 30% of its energy during the menopausal transition. That change starts years before the symptoms appear. Also, Louisa Nicola's research showed that Alzheimer's pathology starts building in your 30s. The preclinical stage can last more than 30 years with no symptoms at all. And the Scherzays found that stage 1 of Alzheimer's can last over 20 years. They are detecting early cognitive decline in community screening in people as young as 40. The data is consistent. The window opens in midlife. The report from the Alzheimer Association agrees. Nearly half of adults say they would start taking steps between the ages of 35 and 64. And if you're watching this, that is almost certainly your window right now. So let me help you close this gap. Here is what I tell my coaching clients before their next doctor's appointment. You do not need a special visit. Your next physical, your next checkup, your next blood draw, I need you to bring 3 things. First, bring your family history. Write it down before you go. Alzheimer's, dementia, cognitive decline, anyone in your family. The report found that adults with a family history are far more worried, but they are not more likely to actually have a plan. Writing it down makes it real. It gives your doctor something concrete to respond to. Second, ask one question. What can I do right now to lower my risk of cognitive decline? Not, do I have Alzheimer's? Not, is my memory normal? Those are diagnostic questions. You want a preventative question. The one question that shifts the conversation from, is something wrong, to what can I actually do? Third, name one behavior you have already started or want to start. Movement, diet, sleep, something specific. I started walking 30 minutes a day. I switched to the Mediterranean diet. I am working on getting better sleep. Give your doctor something to build on. That turns a vague conversation into a plan. 3 things: family history, one question, one behavior. That's it. The conversation does not need to take 30 minutes. It needs to happen once. Then it's on your chart. Then it comes up the next time you visit as well. And if your doctor does not engage, that's information too. You need to find a doctor that will. Here's one more thing to bring up. A study your doctor may not know about yet. It's called the US Pointer. It is the first large-scale randomized controlled trial in the US to show that lifestyle changes protect cognitive function. Over 2,100 adults at elevated risk for cognitive decline were split into 2 groups over 2 years. One group followed a very structured plan: exercise, the mind diet, cognitive training, peer group sessions for accountability. The other group got all those educational materials, but then managed on their own. Both groups improved, but the structured group improved significantly more. Their cognitive scores were equivalent to being younger by up to 2 years. And here's what gets me. Only 1 in 10 adults over the age of 40 have ever even heard of this study. The proof is right there in front of us. It's just not reaching everyone. That's why I do this every week. 86% of adults say they want the brain conversation with their doctor, but only 14% have actually had it. Please be one of the 14%. You do not need a diagnosis. You do not need symptoms. Bring it up yourself. Family history, one question, one behavior, your next appointment. Start there. And if you are watching this and thinking, I don't know where to start, well, that's what I do. I'm a health and wellness coach. I help people build a plan for their brain health. There's always a link in the description for you to book a complimentary call. And if you found this useful, please subscribe to the channel. I break down research like this every week. And I also write a newsletter that goes deeper on these topics. There's also a link in the description. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next week.